Every year, the relatives visiting Rokkenjima would let out a sigh of admiration at the rose garden that first greeted them. They would stop there to chat about the rose's beauty and how well they were blooming that year. In the midst of all this, there was a single unhealthy rose, and Maria became overwhelmed with dejection at its condition. But George used his quick wits, and saying that everything would be fine if they took care of this poor thing, marked it with a candy wrapper and immediately restored Maria's good mood. Yes, Hannah?
I'm remembering. I see
She's
Maria,
like she's
and immediately I just know that this... Just gotta get ready for the wind-up.
Then Battler, with whom she'd been getting along well since that morning, started talking about Halloween. This was such a favorite topic of Maria's that she began playing around energetically again. To Maria, that marshmallow jack-o'-lantern candy bought by her mother was probably the greatest sort of treasure. They seemed to have bought several, and she demanded a trick-or-treat from every person she met, giving them candy instead of the other way around. I almost said Kanye because I was thinking about that music video.
I wonder why Maria likes Halloween so much. I always figured it was a pretty unfamiliar event for the Japanese.
Well, it's a kids' festival where they get to parade around in costumes, right? It can be fun to play around in an outfit that's different than usual. I think there's a slightly deeper cause behind it. After all, she is the witch, Maria-chan.
Come to think of it, when we were at the airport, didn't Maria say that if she was going to wear a costume, it'd be a witch? Does she like witches?
Yes, she loves them. So much that it becomes a problem. Hey, it's not so bad. Expect kids at that age to love fantastical stuff like that. If it was just some heroine on some TV anime, at least it'd be cute. Why can't she be a magical girl?
Judging by Rose's appearance, she wasn't very happy about her daughter's love for witches as a mother. The cousins other than Battler seemed to realize this, and they shrugged, wearing stiff smiles.
That's like an understatement of the year, actually.
What is?
Like her hatred of witches.
Yeah.
Roses.
It's just a slight problem, you know?
Slight.
So you're arguing that because she likes witches, she also likes Halloween? If we don't know, why don't we just ask her? Hey, Maria, how are witches and Halloween related?
As Battler asked that, George and Jessica let out a stifled as if they were trying to stop him, but too late. Maria might have been waiting for just that question. After beaming for an instant, her expression turned a little mean, as if to say, "You're totally clueless, aren't you?" It was the face of a hobbyist who's been ticked off by an outsider saying something stupid about their favorite subject.
Sorry, I need to go in a little bit for Maria.
Fine.
Ooh!
Love this song.
To the Celts, the changing strength of the sun over the course of the year signified its birth, its growing up period, its aging and death, and then its revival. I get it. In the spring, the weak warm sun starts to grow up and get hot, and then it gradually gets weaker and worn out. Sort of makes sense to think of it as the sun living out an entire life. Yes. So they thought that at the end of October, the sun died, was laid to rest in the land of the dead, and then was revived at the winter solstice. And the name they gave the last day of that year, when the sun ended its 1-year lifespan and died, was, I remember you corrected me on this, what's this fucking word, Hannah?
Samhain.
Samhain?
Oh.
Samhain. Oh, Samhain, sorry. That's the Samhain.
Was Samhain. And then they celebrated.
It's an interesting idea to think that the sun is revived on the day of the winter solstice, when the daylight hours start to grow longer again. It's a case that makes it clear how much the ancients regarded the sun as sacred.
I see. So what does it have to do with witches? It seemed that my casual urging forward had slightly infuriated Maria. She glared at me with eyes that told me to shut up while she explained. Maria seemed to be having a blast as she talked, so I decided not to interrupt. In the interval between October and November, life and death become the closest they ever will. The Celts believed that during this time, the world of the living grew closer to the world of the dead and otherworldly beings, and many of those living in other worlds would come to visit. It was like the Bon Festival in Japan. Is this Maria?
It might be narration, but either way, I think it's probably you.
At the time, people believed that souls returning to the physical world would go into people's houses or possess people and do bad things. So in order to avoid harm, they performed rituals. One of those was to imitate creepy monsters and scare the souls back, which was apparently a way to avoid being possessed.
That part became a festival, which turned into a costume parade. You really know a lot, don't you, Maria?
Ain't it the truth? Even I never knew Halloween had such a history.
But where did that whole trick-or-treat thing come from? Her knowledge was so extensive that the adults had suddenly started listening in too. Maria, who was normally treated like the youngest all the time, puffed out her chest with pride. Saying that this was just a kids' discussion, Rosa suggested that the adults go on ahead and set their luggage down in the guest house. But nobody else agreed to go with her, and she let out a heavy sigh.
Ooh! Trick-or-treat is just for fun. It has nothing to do with what was originally a Celtic ceremony. That was created later when Christian customs were mixed in. However, I think it's right for Halloween to be that way.
According to Maria, the souls of the dead weren't the only ones who visited from the non-human world. There were also spirits with intimate connections to people's everyday lives. Humans could receive favors from those spirits, so they'd manage to gain magnificent blessings, as well as a year's worth of good crops.
So basically, Halloween was also a bit of a harvest festival.
I get it. Now that you mention it, I guess October's a turning point in all kinds of ways, including with the seasons. Sort of the opposite of April in Japan. Yeah, that might be a good place to mark it. Ooh! And also, the witches hold a witch assembly called the Sabbath. I'm sorry, I don't know these terms. The witches thank the spirits that give out blessings of prosperity and reward them.
Halloween costumes imitate the guests that come from the other side. In other words, you might say, giving out candy is a way to show gratitude for the yearly harvest.
Ooh! Just like George Oni-chan says. So Halloween is a time when those two worlds intermingle. In other words, it's the most important chance for witches to intermingle with guests from that other world. Is that what you're trying to say? Ooh! Just like Battler says! And you know what? You know what? October is when the power of witches and demons is at its most vigorous and prosperous. I'm sure Beatrice will come. And then we'll eat marshmallow candies together, and she'll bring me to the Golden Land with her. We'll sing magical songs together, learn magic spells together, learn how to draw magic circles together. And then we'll learn the secrets of runes, and I'll become a great witch really, really quickly.
My, isn't that wonderful? It's best for kids to have dreams.
This is like the whole relationship, those two faces, actually.
By the way, Rosa, how old will Maria be this year again?
Ava did nothing wrong.
Maria, that's enough of that.
Don't worry about it, Rosa-san. It's a dream all girls have at one time or another.
Thank you very much. But Maria has already graduated from that age. Hey, I'm telling you to stop!
Rosa scolded Maria, trying to shut her up before her cheery discussion about black magic earned her the snickers of the relatives.
Oh? That sounds pretty detailed and impressive. By the way, who is Beatrice again? I know I've heard that name somewhere before.
Battler had been gone for 6 years and had completely forgotten about the legend of the Rokenjima witch. However, when he said he didn't know Beatrice's name, Maria's once bright mood soured in an instant. When he saw that, Battler immediately remembered that it was the name of the witch of the island. But the damage had been done. Until Maria's mood improved, she went on and on about many mysterious and fabulous episodes regarding the Golden Witch.
That's enough, Maria. Thank you, Battler-kun, for letting her chat with you. Cannon-kun, don't you have work to do?
Please, leave, now. Goro-san, it looks like everyone wants to set down their bags for the time being. Sorry, but could you guide everyone to the guest house?
Certainly. Well then, everyone, allow me to guide you.
Then, if you will excuse me. Goda led the relatives and they began to head toward the guest house. They were eager to set down their luggage and take a breather, so they didn't realize that Rosa and Maria weren't coming with them. After watching them leave towards the guest house, Rosa's face changed suddenly. She let go with the hand that had been gripping Maria this whole time. There was a bright red mark there, making it clear how much excessive force she had been using on Maria's slender arm. That hand then slapped against Maria's head, pinched her ear, and lifted.
Don't actually grab my hair, please.
Even though I'm always telling you not to talk about witches, haven't I already said that was our promise together?
Mama, ouch. Mama, ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch.
You really do like to babble about Halloween all the time, don't you? A festival for witches? Who cares about the Celts, black magic, all that idiotic trash? You're 9 years old, 9. Because of the scene you made in the train, I went to all the trouble of making a stop and buying you those disgusting monster marshmallows that look like they were made, that they have fluorescent paint on them. I went out of my way to buy it, even though it made us late. How much more will you embarrass me before you're satisfied?
As Rosa cursed, she twisted Maria's ear up, almost as if she was about to tear it off. An expression of anguish spread across Maria's face while she frantically stood on her tiptoes, trying to soften the pain in that ear. Rosa suddenly grabbed the candy that Maria had been holding. She threw it on the ground and stepped on it over and over.
Jesus.
I wasn't actually planning on doing that, but it came into my mind as I was saying it, and it just kind of happened. And I apologize. To Maria, it was supposed to proof of a memory. Of a brief span of time when her mother
Nice job, Longer Gamer.
had bought something fun for her. But now that same mother was grinding it into the ground right in front of her. It was as though a brand had been pushed into Maria's eyes, leaving a mark that could never be erased.
What's the deal with this disgusting candy? Disgusting! Disgusting! It's because you're like that. It's all because you're like that! Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting!
As she said that, she struck Maria's head over and over again with her palm. She didn't hit Maria's face, because the red swelling would stand out. Maria closed her eyes tightly, patiently bearing her mother's violence. No, that wasn't quite it.
Come back, Mama. Come back, Mama. Save me, Mama. Defeat the bad witch.
She kept bearing Rosa's assault, muttering that over and over.
Didn't I tell you to stop talking about witches? Why you!
Rosa, tired from hitting her daughter, breathed so hard her shoulders shook. Maria grasped her hands together, withstanding it, hoping her mother would return soon.
Mama, come back, quickly. Save me, Mama. Beat the bad witch.
Fine, just stay there like that forever. Just stand there, mumbling about witches and Halloween forever.
After hurling those words at Maria, Rosa left in the direction of the guest house, leaving Maria behind. Maria, forgetting even that it was okay to cry, kept staring down at the jack-o'-lantern candy that had been trampled beyond recognition.
This is so sad. Can we get 50 likes?
This is so sad. Can we hit Maria?
God.
For just one payment of $5,000, I will stop hitting Maria for a year.
This is so
You can
sad.
buy
Alexa,
my-
play Happy Maria.
Oh, Rosa! Where were you?
Oh, just off beating my kid.
I'm sorry. The roses were so wonderful, I just...
Had to beat my kid for a while.
So I slap the shit out of John.
Rosa, set your luggage down quickly and come with us. We're gonna go say hi to Aniki.
What happened to Maria-chan? Is she still by the flower beds?
Yes. It seems she found a rose she likes and insisted that she take care of it, refusing to listen. I decided to let her do what she wants for a while.
We sometimes forget that girls have their own little world. Sometimes we have to respect that, right?
That's right. Thank you for your concern, Kirie-Nisan. Goda-san? Where's our room?
I will guide you. This way. Allow me to hold your luggage.
I'll be fine. I can carry it myself, thank you.
Rosa went into her room, guided by Goda. She then closed the door somewhat violently and threw her luggage on top of the bed. She got down on her knees in front of the bed, burying her face in it. For a while, Rosa made as if to shred the sheets with her fingernails, sobbing constantly. Maria-sama, are you alright? Cannon appeared from behind a thicket after watching Rosa leave.
I'm fine.
Maria gave a creepy laugh, but to Cannon, who had seen the whole thing, it looked like she was enduring as best she could. She's a horrible person. I can't believe she's a mother.
It can't be helped. You can't expect anything to be better than that to enter a container of that level. I'm just fine.
Cannon got down on his knees and picked up the trampled candy. It was tragic just looking at it. He thought about dusting it off and returning it to her, but really couldn't do so with it in that condition. And just as he was wondering what to do, he met Maria's gaze. No, that wasn't quite right. Maria was looking at the candy Cannon had picked up. Right now, Maria's heart was surely the same as the candy that had been trampled into a pulp. Cannon realized this, but didn't know what he should do. That's right. I'll exchange it for the one I received earlier. Cannon remembered that a similar candy he'd received from Maria was in his pocket. Maria stuck out her hand. Cannon thought she was trying to take it, so he held out the candy, but Maria didn't try to grasp it. Then Cannon realized. She was saying, "Give it back." No matter how tragic and trampled it was, this candy was Maria's.
Give me your phone. Sorry.
You got any games on your phone?
Maria would ask that, actually.
Maria would be like,
Someone hands them their phone. It's got like fucking children's YouTube on it from Maria.
she's looking at witch videos.
Jeez.
Her mother had bought it for her. No matter how tragic, it had to be this candy, and no other. If only it were intact enough that it could be fixed by dusting it off. Cannon hung his head. Dusting it off is the most I can do. I'm sorry. Cannon held out the miserable-looking candy Maria wanted. She took it and spoke.
Thank you. A human can't do anything except dust it off, but a witch could restore it to how it once was. It would be easy for Beatrice.
Maria-sama, you know about Beatrice-sama? Except for Battler, there was no way anyone related to the Ushiromiya family could have failed to know Beatrice's name. But just now, Maria had bragged about Beatrice to Battler. She had spoken almost as though she was meeting with Beatrice regularly. Cannon felt a sharp pain inside his left hand, which was curled into a fist. In the past, a witch called Beatrice had appeared to tempt him and Shannon. He'd always tried to think of it as a bad dream. However, Shannon insisted that it definitely was a real witch. And then this summer, The shrine to the local Shinto god was hit by lightning, disappearing without a trace over the span of a single night. He knew about Shannon breaking that mirror, and he remembered that as the witch departed, she said she'd eventually be revived. And now, this girl who believed absolutely in Beatrice spoke as though she'd met Beatrice herself. Cannon couldn't suppress a vague sense of foreboding welling up in his heart. For a while, Maria remained silent, as though she could see into Cannon's heart, almost as though she was waiting for a memory of Beatrice to be revived. And then she spoke as though it was a fact.
You know, I'm friends with Beatrice. I'm gonna even go meet her today and play.
You're going to play?
Yeah. Of course we'll play. We're gonna study magic together.
The face of that witch, whom Cannon had tried to pretend was a bad dream, began to slowly creep into the back of his mind.
Father says he's extremely busy with his research. Unfortunately, it seems he'll be unable to come down.
Come on. We've put this conference in our schedules and come all the way out to Rokenjima during this crazy busy fall season. You'd think Dad could at least be a bit more sociable.
No, it's like crazy.
It looks like kitties.
No,
He
has
still
pecs.
has a little bit of titty.
He has pecs.
Rudolph's got those are not pecs. Rudolph's got titties. Let's admit it. He's got a little titty.
Yeah, I've
I don't
been
think
thinking about
that
this for a
man has
while.
ever lifted a weight in his life. Come on!
What was that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, seriously. Dr. Nanjo. Is it really his research and his mood that are the problem? He isn't already bedridden, unable to get up, is he?
Well, I wonder. There's not much I can say.
Nanjo glanced at Natsuhi. It seemed he thought it wasn't his place to speak without first getting Natsuhi's approval.
Father's state of health is better than ever. It would be exceedingly rude to call him bedridden.
But he only has 3 months left to live, right? Normally, wouldn't you expect him to be wasting away and able to get out of bed? Isn't that right, Dr. Nanjo?
For a normal patient, that would probably be the case. But Kinzo-san has extraordinary willpower. Perhaps that willpower has frightened even the Reaper away.
Well, if he's that energetic, then I guess we'll have little to worry about for the near future, right?
Though, if he's got that much spunk, I wish he'd at least come to greet us.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Is it the whole point of this family conference to come and see Dad's face? I'm not even sure why we came now. Someone else click. Don't say that.
Why'd you get so close to the mic?
That's the noise this man's makes. He has bigger titties than Rudolph.
Of course.
Kraus
Kraus
has
has
wider.
the biggest.
They're not bigger, they're wider.
They're like less saggy.
Thicker.
Yep.
If he were here, you'd complain the whole time about being unable to relax. Shouldn't we celebrate the fact that all of us siblings have gathered this year to spend some time alone?
Kraus looks like somebody took like a sausage casing and just packed it with bologna.
What?
Like he just kind of looks like that. We didn't get to see him at last year's family conference either, right? Can you understand why his blood children might want to see him after 2 years?
If there's anything you'd like to say in greeting, I will tell him for you. Or Eva-san. Is there something you'd like to discuss with Father beyond merely greeting him?
Come on, what are you talking about? Sheesh.
Give it a rest, Ava.
That's Hideyoshi.
Natsuhi-san, forgive us. Ava's just worried about Father's condition as his daughter.
Love this.
Please try and understand how she feels.
Indeed. Look how quickly you've grown to respect Father, now that you know how much longer he has to live. Yes, I believe I do understand why you want to see him so much.
What are you trying to say?
Quit it, Aniki. Why don't we pray that his mood will improve by dinner? Anyway, we've only just arrived. For now, we're only here for a casual greeting. And we could even hold the family conference without Dad. In fact, there's a few things we siblings shouldn't bring to him until we've formed a unified opinion. Isn't that right, Hideyoshi Nisan?
Yup! Just as Rudolph-kun says. This is the only time of the year we can all meet in person. We've got to take this valuable time seriously and be frank with each other.
Even though the tea hadn't yet arrived, they were very determined.
But before that, perhaps we can spare the time to enjoy some black tea at our leisure, surrounded by the wonderful furnishings of the parlor.
I think I finally found my Rudolph voice, like what I'm going for. Kyrie's words seemed to contain a subtle directed at everyone gathered there. They all understood, and as they cleared their throats and straightened their neckties, the atmosphere in the room returned to normal for a time. Gotti.
Excuse me? I've brought some tea.
Hey, Shannon-chan! You just keep getting prettier and prettier!
Shannon entered the parlor, pushing the serving cart. Zonger's getting bigger too.
I think I love Shannon, actually.
Your titties gotten bigger too!
Don't do that to Hideyoshi voice.
No! Hideyoshi would never!
No,
It's actually scary how easy I could see Hideyoshi's voice become like creepy, and I don't like that.
I
It's
feel
too
like
wholesome.
Hideyoshi would be that guy who's like, My, how much you've grown! I remember when you were just this tall!
Yeah, he's that uncle.
And
Like-
this flat!
And how fucking dare you! He's the only one in this household that would not comment on titties.
Besides Battler. Oh wait, no, Battler was
Battler-
commenting.
Battler does it.
has.
Battler-
Actively.
He tried to
Like,
grow
all
up
the
his
time.
cousin.
Yeah. He tried to grow up Shannon too, for that matter, before his cousin had to step in.
Nah, it was just a Battler-style method of communication.
Battler. He's such a fucking Battler Loki Chad.
Alright.
Everyone decided to relax and enjoy some black tea for the time being.
Like what we should be doing.
A wonderful aroma began to spread throughout the room. As far as anyone could see, the strained atmosphere from before Shannon's arrival seemed like a lie. Of course, Shannon, who was setting out the tea, probably didn't even notice. Now look at this family, this wholesome, happy, loving
This
family.
is really cursed, and I still don't like it. It still makes me very uncomfortable.
Kyrie seemed to laugh faintly at how adult everyone was suddenly acting.
They look so happy, and I don't like it.
Rudolph didn't like it when Kyrie took the initiative because she's a fucking woman and spoke at the family conference.
Jesus.
It was his worthless male pride. He probably didn't want to look like a weak man who took advice from his wife.
I mean, he is kind of worthless.
Yeah, I'm a man! She understood that.
Small dick energy just radiating.
But all of these bitches be looking at Rudolph like, man, big dick energy.
Yeah.
And
Kinda cursed.
she understood that and did her best to refrain from saying any more than was necessary. Rudolph's actually the biggest chap.
He is, actually.
So she separated herself from the circle of siblings who only superficially appeared to be enjoying some time together alone. What? And casually drank her tea near the window. You mean they don't love each other a lot?
Oh, who'd have thought?
Oh, Rosa-san. I thought your siblings were enjoying some alone time.
You must be joking.
Sorry, don't take it the wrong way. I'm just a little exasperated by my husband.
It'd be like that sometimes. Apparently, Rosa hadn't been able to keep up with that on-the-surface friendliness. They'd come here to fight bloodily and dirtily, each trying to grab a part of the inheritance for themselves. She probably didn't like suddenly pretending that they were all chummy. Or maybe she was still too immature for that.
Oof.
It looks like the wind started blowing hard out there. The plants are all shaking so much.
The typhoon's probably gotten pretty close already. I wonder if we'll see a lot of rain tonight.
Maria-chan really has grown a lot in the past year. Does it look that way?
Oh.
She's still...
You didn't say any words there, Hannah.
But my message still got across.
She's still...
That's me.
Oh shit, I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe my message didn't get across.
Yeah. Alright, here you go.
Does it look that way? She still can't even fold her own clothes yet. You work at Joey until the semester, I taught him.
What?
Wait, what?
That's cursed. We
I
should
mean-
cut that out. We don't need the internet knowing that shit, actually.
Knowing what?
Joey
Nothing.
couldn't fold her clothes until college.
I mean, it'd be like that.
I mean, he's just kind of one of those guys who just put it in a basket and then put it
I
away.
do that.
I do that too. I just hate folding clothes.
Like, I guess I know how to
I just
fold
hang my
But
clothes.
I don't typically do it.
He knew how to fold clothes, but he didn't know how to, like, properly, like how you do the t-shirt trifold thing.
Oh,
So
I don't know how
still
to do
run
that
a time
either.
my
I just,
shoes.
like-
I ain't judging Joey.
Whatever, alright. Back where we were doing? No, it's true. It's because she has such an affectionate mother. She'll grow into a girl with a rich heart.
Yeah.
This tea is scalding.
Why do they keep making these, like, big pauses?
Rosa fell silent.
Because that's fun.
I see.
Maybe she was unsure as to what Kyrie meant by that. What did she mean by this?
I'm a failure as a mother.
Yeah,
Children don't get to choose their parents.
unfortunately.
That poor girl.
Doesn't that go both ways? A parent can't choose what kind of child they have either.
Rosa bit her lower lip.
This isn't a matter of assigning blame. Isn't it enough that you take your time and watch over her as she grows, conscious of the fact that you'll be living together? You spent every day with Maria-chan, so you probably don't notice the small changes. But the rest of us, who haven't seen her for a year, can see clearly how much she's grown.
If you really mean that, thank you very much.
Then, if you'll excuse me, if there's anything you desire, please call for it at any time.
Shannon bowed politely and left the room. As Hideyoshi and Rudolph, who had a soft spot for women, watched her go, the atmosphere in the room began to revert back to what it did right before Shannon's visit.
I love
could
that,
see-
like,
they're
facial
like-
expression
It was
change.
very
Yeah.
amusing.
I also like the idea of, like, fucking Rudolph just, like, in his chair, sees Santa walk by, just fucking turns around and looks at that shit, squints at that ass, like,
Like in the meme of the like guy looking at the girl's ass.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Rudolph, Kyrie, and like
every other woman on
Yeah.
the planet.
actually.
No, Rudolph, Battler's mom, Kyrie.
Oh!
Okay,
That is what it is, though.
That's very much not okay.
I'm calling the police.
I'm like scared of you right now, Hannah. That was way too powerful.
Also, while he's looking, after she goes away, like, Rudolph just starts whispering a number to Hideyoshi. 9 out of 10.
That's cursed.
6.5.
Fuck this chat.
I feel like Hideyoshi would be the kind of bitch who'd be like, 4.
No! He only...
Because she's not Ava.
Yeah, she ain't
Oh, I love videos.
Exactly, that's why he's just so devoted that he ain't gonna have any other
Oh
woman
my
but
god,
Ava.
Hideyoshi? Yeah, no, he would 100% be like,
Any woman
Sorry.
that's not Ava is below 5, actually.
if you are not Ava, then you are nothing.
0 out of 10.
Honest.
God,
I mean,
love
my
this
own
man.
mother is like a respectable, like, I feel like he'd be the guy who's like, my mother is a 10, but unemotional.
I want to hug Hideyoshi. Can I hug you, Nathan?
Nathan is kind of Hideyoshi shaped.
Wide boys.
Like solid, you know?
Boys.
Like solid.
Let's get back to it.
Alright.
I think I read this.
Like
Yeah, you
if they
did.
donned a fursuit, it would be a bear.
Jesus.
That's one way to put it.
Damn.
If father can't come down, well, that does still leave us with certain things we can discuss. Right, Rudolph?
Yeah. Yep. That's right. We didn't come all the way out here just to drink some dusty tea, right?
Shit's not dusty. Go ask is dusty.
Very well. What is this matter that you're clearly so eager to discuss?
My, those people really are determined. They certainly got started quick.
I need to join in too. If I don't assert myself, those people will quickly forget that there are 4 siblings.
I need to get my
Those
dick
people.
sucked.
I just felt the blood just leave my fucking body. My bones are slowly liquefying and my skin is
I
peeling.
couldn't resist, alright?
I need to get my dick sucked.
Fuck Squidward.
Did you ever see that Twitter post?
Thank God, no.
I have got to get my dick sucked.
It's so dumb.
Oh,
I
it's
have
gonna
got to get my dick sucked.
Okay.
Stop this a dick.
Fuck, alright.
Sounds like you've got...
Fuck, alright. Ready?
Yes.
Sounds like you've got it pretty tough yourself. Maybe I spoke too harshly. Forgive me.
No, I don't mind. I'm the one who should be apologizing. As a pair of mothers with daughters, we should talk more often. Every single time we meet, we end up talking about something shady. Like how I beat my child.
You can blame the atmosphere in the mansion for that. Once we start breathing in this air, the mood between us gets so strained. Just once, I like to have a nice long cup of tea with you when we aren't attending a family conference. There's
That was a little too sensual.
Just like last time,
They're actually fucking. They really just, like, Curie just really wants to have an affair. Like, Rudolph's having, like, 12 affairs. She just wants one. With his sister to make it, like, her.
Oof.
Alright.
That would be some, like, really fucked up incest, though.
I mean, it's not really incest.
I don't
not
want to get into this
incest.
conversation
In-laws.
right now.
No, it's not. It's not incest. It's just an
It's
affair.
in-laws.
In-laws don't really count.
I mean, like,
In-laws are like
Fair game?
In-laws says?
no, like okay. Fuck off!
Fair
God,
game?
where's my knife? Where's my knife? Both those things were bad. Both those things were
I
bad.
hope the knife, like, flip got caught by the mic. Okay.
The noise of my knife just popping out.
Okay, let's...
Alright.
There's a wonderful coffee shop in Ginza that's a favorite of mine. Please let me invite you sometime soon.
Thank you, Kyrie-san. That sounds great.
Oh no, the sky's gotten dark pretty fast. I could almost believe the people in this room made the weather worse. There's already thunder. Oh? Was that one there?
This fucking mic.
Huh?
There really were small splashes of rain on the glass of the parlor window. The weather seemed to have worsened faster than expected. Just then, a silent thunderbolt struck inside Rosa's head, and she remembered that her beloved child was out in the rose garden. Oh,
Beloved in
shit!
air quotes.
A normal girl would try to go inside if the weather got bad. But Maria was different. She would sometimes get stubborn and refuse to move if rain or even spears fell from the sky.
That's right. I told that child to just stay there, doing that forever, didn't I?
Maria's like, okay.
Oh no, Maria!
Everyone looked back at Rosa when she let out a small scream. What? I actually can't say what as crass without it sounding like that. What? What is it?
I'm sorry. I'm going outside for a second. I'll be right back.
Catch my breath. What the? Seriously, what's going on with her?
Don't worry, she will be back soon. More importantly, shouldn't we begin? Our main topic.
Yeah, fuck Rosa.
That's right.
We don't need her.
Fuck Rosa, indeed.
Honestly.
I've been telling you this for years, Cross. It's the only thing I agree with you on.
Hey, that's my... Wait.
I'm your wife.
Yeah, I just realized that now. My brain hurts.
That's right. We can keep talking about the witches without Rosa. The hours are here. Let's return to our discussion.
Rosa dashed from the entrance hall into the rose garden.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
What the fuck?
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
There you go.
What a bunch of jokers.
Whenever I run, the Sonic theme song plays.
When she opened the door, the wind that hit her was too strong to be called a light breeze, and told her that the typhoon was approaching faster than she thought. I'm gonna rejoice. And just as Curie had said, the wind was mixed in with small droplets of rain. There was also a low rumble of thunder. It could start raining any time. Rosa headed for the rose garden. Rose headed for the Rosa garden. She headed for the place she had scolded Maria a short while ago. It was almost lunchtime. The children had been told to come to the mansion around lunchtime, so they were probably in the guest house, waiting to be called. Even if Maria didn't come to them, they would surely...
Even if Maria didn't come to them, they would surely think I took her to the mansion with me, and wouldn't worry much. After all, she had been with... Oh.
After all, she'd been with her mother, so there should have been no reason to worry.
I was here, and I abandoned my daughter to the worsening weather.
Not the worst thing she's done.
Maria! Are you there? If you're there, answer me!
Ooh!
I was right. She was still standing, stock still, exactly the same way she had been, in the place where I had scolded her. Held in her hand was the candy that I'd bought,
Stock still?
given her, and then stepped on and crushed.
Jesus.
With that grip in her hand, she stood there as the powerful winds whipped her hair about, tormenting her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, Maria. Forgive Mama.
Ooh! Mama, welcome back. I waited a long time for you to come back. The scary witch pinched me, but I stayed strong, waiting for Mama to come back without crying.
Maria. Forgive your Mama. Forgive your Mama.
You didn't do anything wrong. You were just possessed by a bad witch again. So I'm fine. I really like you, Mama. I love you. Just gonna stop confusing.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's charming.
This is how abuses are enabled, first off. Fuck.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is.
It is 100%.
Well, you mean that's not healthy coping
This
mechanism?
is...
I mean, Stockholm Syndrome is in season around
It's
this
not,
time
I
of
wouldn't
year.
even call it Stockholm Syndrome. It's like a... Fuck. There's a name for it. It's like when you just... It's like a dissociative thing. But please, forgive your Mama for losing to the bad witch.
And then she feeds into it. God damn it.
Yep.
Rosa buried her face in Maria's small chest, crying and begging forgiveness.
You wanna fucking stand up?
Should I?
Yes.
And once again, those tears dripped down after who knows how many times. If only the brilliant sun had been shining on the two of them, all of their cares would have evaporated, and it might have felt like they could begin anew. However, what surrounded the two of them was the worsening weather. Sadly, there were only a fierce winds with the occasional thunder. The sound of Maria sniffling brought Rosa to her senses. If Maria stood exposed to the wind for too long, she'd probably catch a cold.
Okay, Maria. It's almost time for lunch. Why don't you come back to the mansion with me?
Ooh! Won't go.
Why not?
Rosa thought she'd already received Maria's forgiveness, so she hadn't imagined Maria would refuse. But that expression on Maria's face didn't look like that of a child resisting her mother. So Rosa couldn't understand why Maria wanted to stand still pointlessly as the weather grew even worse. Maria answered that question.
It's Beatrice. She'll be here really soon. So I'm waiting. I got really British on that. For like something.
Maria?
Rosa struggled to find words for a moment and fell silent. They had only just managed to make up, after all. She chose her words carefully, trying to get Maria to come with her to the mansion without denying the witch outright.
Beatrice is coming?
Ooh!
Really? Then instead of waiting here, why don't we wait in the mansion? If you stay in the wind too long, you'll catch a cold.
She'll come. Beatrice will come. And when she does, I'll give her candy. I'll do trick or treat. I'll give her a jack-o'-lantern marshmallow candy and say, Happy Halloween!
Happy Halloween.
Ooh!
Maria pulled yet another sweet out of her handbag, moaning ooh ooh. Rosa was bewildered and didn't know what to do as Maria started being difficult again. At that time, there was a sudden blast of thunder. That's not what thunder sounds like. It was probably a sign that this island had been sealed off by the storm, detached from common sense and reality. So after this moment, all common sense would probably cease to apply. The wind blew even stronger, and amidst that blizzard of scattered rose petals, a figure appeared, leaving Rosa unable to imagine that this was a scene from reality. It was probably, no, definitely, fantastical. After all, that shadow of a person was...
It's a cool fade-in.
It's like the reverse Thanos, you know?
Beatrice!
Maria dashed over to the shadow. Normally, Rosa would scold her daughter if she dashed over to someone whom she hadn't seen before and didn't know. But Rosa forgot to do that, was unable to do anything but stand there stunned.
It's been quite some time. Have you been well?
Ooh! I've been well. Witches don't catch colds. Ooh!
Indeed, a witch can use curses to make people catch colds, but how foolish would it be if she caught one herself? From now on, you should take care not to catch something like a cold yourself.
She patted Maria's head as she said this, smiling roguishly. Rosa couldn't have known the name of the woman who was happily spoiling Maria. However, Maria had called it out in the beginning when the woman appeared. So even though Rosa had never met her, even though the woman still hadn't introduced herself, Rosa was able to know her name. However, that name had a special meaning on Rokenjima and in the Ushiromiya family. There's no way something that stupid could be.
Beatrice! Happy Halloween! Look at what we bought. I'll give you one too, Beatrice. Ooh!
Indeed, happy Halloween. Ha! Is this for me? How truly adorable that a candy would be made out of this. The lonely light of a man lost in the darkness of purgatory, unable to go to heaven or hell. Right now,
or hell.
On this island that has been cut off both from the world of humans and the world of non-humans, there may be no more suitable suite. Maria, what's wrong with that one?
The witch noticed the sweet Maria was grasping. It was Maria's candy, which had been stomped on by Rosa until it reached this pitiful state of Florida.
Ooh!
I need a cigarette.
Got stepped on and smashed. Can you fix it, Beato?
Maria didn't go so far as to say that it was her mother who'd stepped on it. However, for some reason, when the witch saw that candy, she looked at Rosa and grinned. A chill went down Rosa's spine, as though his gaze was staring straight through her.
Of course, it's the Japanese CPS.
I like the idea of fucking Beatrice being CBS.
Me too.
That's actually the plot of Umineko secretly.
Beatrice adopts Maria.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Wholesome.
It shall be easy. Give it to me.
Ooh! Maria held the candy out gleefully. Rosa could do nothing but watch, stunned. How did this person plan to trick Maria, somehow undoing the fact that the candy had been pitifully trampled? Maria looked as though she believed it could be fixed good as new. Without real magic, there was no way such a thing could be possible.
My. It is quite crushed, isn't it? Come, Maria. Close your eyes and try to remember. Because it really was that wonderful a candy. The candy of your memories is always full and fluffy. So you try to remember as well. What kind of candy was it really?
Along with those strange words spoken as though singing an improvised folk song, the witch threw the sweet into the air. Yeet! Maria was closing her eyes and remembering, just as the witch had told her to. Which shape had that crushed candy really had? Therefore, only Rosa saw that scene. The sweet that had been thrown into the air burst into a gold color. No, that wasn't it. Those were golden butterflies. It scattered into several golden butterflies, and they began to gather at the witch's hand, which was held up to the sky. And as she did this, unbelievably, it returned to its beautiful original form, no different from when it had been bought. Only Rosa and the witch witnessed that scene. Unable to comprehend what was occurring right before her eyes, Rosa stood with her mouth hanging open, completely forgetting to shut it.
You may now open your eyes. Take it. With this, your sweet has returned to normal.
Ooh! Beatrice is always incredible. Incredible!
There was a stark contrast between Rosa's shock and Maria's innocent joy. Was that what the witch was laughing at? A smile floated to Beatrice's face, one different from the smile she'd shown Maria.
Does my face seem familiar? If you stare so fixedly, you might burn a hole through it. I'm sorry.
Those words triggered something very clearly in Rosa's mind. Rosa knew this face. She knew it from the portrait of the witch. But, no, wait. Could this mystery woman really be?
Maria, I give you this in exchange for the sweet you gave me.
Ooh? A letter?
The witch pulled a western envelope from her pocket and gave it to Maria. However, when Maria made to open it, the witch stopped her.
You must not. The time will come soon for you to open it, but until then you absolutely must not. Take good care of it. That will be your invitation to the Golden Land.
The Golden Land. So you'll finally take me there.
Take it and treat it with care. You must not show it to anyone.
Ooh! I'll keep that promise. You've always got to keep promises with witches.
What if that letter is actually just a picture of SpongeBob from the Christmas party?
Ah!
I'm so mad. And this is for you. Huh? Me?
King's out at the Christmas party.
What the hell, Christmas party?
She probably hadn't imagined that the witch would speak to her too. Rosa was bewildered by the second western envelope, which was thrust before her. She'd seen this type of envelope before. There could be no mistake. It was one of Kinzo's special envelopes, usually wrote with his own hand and bearing the Ushiromiya family crest. It was sealed with red sealing wax, and furthermore, it had a mark that seemed to have been made by the head's ring. In other words, even without asking what was inside this letter, Rosa knew that this woman, whom Maria called Beatrice, was trusted enough to be placed in charge of a personal letter of the current Ushiromiya head.
It could have been any of the 4 siblings. However, the fact that I have met you here probably means that you were chosen by Kinzo's roulette. So take it. Then read its contents aloud while seated at the dinner table when all of the siblings are gathered. What did you say?
Rosa looked back and forth several times between the witch's face and the envelope that had been handed to her. Today was the family conference, and the biggest object of discussion would be the inheritance problem. So, she had joined together with Ava and Rudolph, and they planned to force a certain condition on Kraus to try and extort several hundred million yen in cash out of him. It was as if the witch could see through all of that. What does she intend to announce?
What does she intend to announce when all of the siblings are gathered? With a personal envelope that no one but the Ushiromiya head can use. Maria, the weather is getting worse. Return to the guest house and wait for lunchtime. And Rosa, we will meet again later. Allow me to introduce myself again at that time.
The witch turned her back to her, laughing. Then she began to head towards the mansion with an air of composure. Maria energetically called out and watched her go, and then began to dash towards the guest house, leaving Rosa behind. As though she wanted to inform the other cousins of her fortunate meeting with the witch as soon as she could. At last, Rosa was left alone in the rose garden as the winds grew stronger. Unable to do anything but pray that what had happened was just a daydream. When the witch reached the entrance hall, Genji could be seen there. Genji welcomed the guest, approaching from the entrance hall with a respectful bow.
I have been waiting. Beatrice-sama.
It's been quite some time, Genji. Huh. You've gotten old.
No matter how old it becomes, furniture carries out its work like furniture until the end.
I remember how that man's wife used to be jealous of you. Is Kinzo doing well?
He is doing extremely well.
The witch probably laughed because she knew Kinzo's own doctor had announced that Kinzo didn't have long to live. However, if anyone actually looked at Kinzo and noticed his vigor, which wasn't at all what you'd expect from someone nearing the end of his life, they might easily call that doing extremely well. Maybe that's what the witch was laughing at.
Then let us go and greet him. I look forward to hurling curses at each other after 30 years.
Fuck you.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
As the witch grinned, she started walking, leaving Genji behind.
And then Kinzo's like, fuck me, please.
Her gait was like that of a family member who knew the inside of the mansion well. Genji followed her in the manner of one who served her.
That was an awful joke. I actually feel so bad.
It's how it be, though.
Yeah.
That's how
It is
Kinzo
actually.
be.
Oh, if only I could
Kinzo
hold
just-
her breasts one more time.
Umineko was literally just Kinzo wanting to get his dick sucked.
If only I could see her smile around
Kinzo
my
looks up
massive
like, I have
dick.
got to get my dick sucked.
I want to hit everyone in this room right now. I'll pull a knife on
Try
them,
it.
please.
At that time, Kyrie came out of the parlor. She'd probably gone out to fix her makeup or something. You know, because that's what women do.
Powder my nose is code for taking a massive shit.
Yeah.
And when she saw Genji following a witch, she was surprised, although her expression did not change. A guest for Kinzo had arrived, despite him being almost dead, on the day of the family conference when the fate of the inheritance was to be decided. And furthermore, this person was familiar enough with the Ushiromiya family household that Genji was following behind her. Kyrie immediately realized that this person she had never met before was deeply important. Kyrie and the witch's eyes met. Realizing that it would be rude to pretend not to notice, she greeted the witch.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
You were Rudolph's second wife, yes?
Correct. This is Kirei-sama, Rudolph-sama's current wife.
From this exchange, Kyrie realized that this was a guest of fairly high rank, even among the Ushiromiya family. And the fact that this was a guest on that level, coupled with her resemblance to the portrait in the entrance hall, made Kyrie's eyes instantly open wide.
Poggers?
Oh,
Oh
we
shit.
see that again. Not gonna lie, it's a sexy ass portrait.
Real shit. Sexy ass outfit.
She looks like a villain from a high school
Danganronpa.
horror anime. Exactly!
Jesus.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Kyrie. I wonder if this is our first meeting. If we have met before, I apologize for forgetting your name.
So, you intend to force me to state my name, even though you already have a vague idea of the answer.
Kyrie thought she'd given a sociable and humble greeting. Her expression grew slightly cloudy at that openly oppressive response. At any rate, this didn't seem to be a person she could grow to like. But if Kyrie's guesses were correct, this witch probably held a vital key to what her own husband was most interested in. Other women.
Well, then a lot of money very fast.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right now.
I need a lot of money right now!
Wait any longer.
We've got to have money.
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 We've got to have money!
That's real good.
Yep.
This witch fellow. So they had a thing, what her husband was most interested in, something that couldn't help but influence tonight's family conference. So without shooting back a retort, Kyrie silently watched her go up the stairs to the second floor, with Genji following behind.
I hate seeing you come in, but I love watching you go.
So when someone tapped her shoulder from behind, she was so surprised she almost choked. It was Natsuhi.
Kyrie-san, why are you standing still in a place like this? Are you not feeling well?
I'm sorry. I was just fascinated by the portrait of the witch for a bit.
Oh, you mean the Golden Witch, Beatrice. The one whose gold was supposedly necessary for the revived Ushiromiya family we see today. Quite a fantastical story. Just what one might expect from father.
Natsuhi spoke in a perfectly ordinary way. It was the sort of comment you'd expect from someone convinced that the thought of a witch existing was ridiculous. No more than another of Kinzo's ramblings. However, for some reason, that point of view didn't seem right to Kyrie now. Just a moment ago, she herself had seen the Golden Witch come in from the entrance hall and climb up the stairs. So Natsuhi's words made it feel as though someone was trying to deny the existence of that person, or else make it seem like she was never there to begin with.
I'm sorry. Maybe I'm getting a bit of a headache. I think I'll rest for a little while.
Oh, is that so? Then I have some good headache medicine. I'll get it for you.
Is it really good if it doesn't work for you?
I mean,
Yes.
nothing works for you.
Jesus.
Nor does your husband or your marriage.
It'll be like that.
At least Kinzo still likes her.
Ava voice. Nothing works for you. Not your relationship. Not your ties to this family. Not your fucking child. Not your fucking servants.
Hey,
Not
Natsuhi
your
must
fucking
suck.
personality.
I'd kill my wife for $1 billion.
Not to you pull a fucking
I mean,
gun
hey.
on him.
Hey, Keen's willing to sacrifice his entire family for his waifu to become real, so...
I think that the only reason that Natsuki's still somehow alive is that the fact that she probably sleeps with that fucking sawed-off shotgun within the arms of her.
Honestly.
Like, Kraus probably, like, turns over weird and she's just like,
No, they absolutely don't sleep in the same bed, actually.
oh, fuck no, yeah.
No.
The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled
Wait, they actually don't. Natsuki has a room.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
she does.
shit!
She
But
has
that's
her
like a
own
thing of, like,
individual room.
people with, like, a lot of money.
Yeah,
It's a
A status thing.
status thing.
The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet poison, peculiar to that green liquor. Sweet. Genji, who was
Should make
completely used to
stairs.
it, did not grimace. And the Golden Witch didn't grimace either.
How long has he been in there since he last left?
I believe it has already been several years.
Jeez.
Is he that desperate to turn me into a bird in a cage? How pitiful. By now, you're the bird in the cage. You're the ghost of this study, are you not? How pitiful that he is unable to recognize even that.
Literally just know you.
Jeez.
Until he meets you again, he will probably continue his research, even after literally becoming a ghost.
Is it love or madness or a delusion?
Yes.
All of the above.
And yet, perhaps even those can form magical powers when strong enough. You sad magician.
The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
Beatrice-sama.
What is this? A ward against magic! Is that person unable to get by without relying on something like this?
I love this Beatrice face.
I have heard that this door will cause you great pain, Beatrice-sama. Shall I open it?
No, it is fine. If he wins, I will be a bird in a cage for all eternity. If he loses, only the life of a laughing stock will be left. The life of a pitiful magician who went mad with love and lost everything. Already, Kinzo and even I are nothing more than pieces laid out on a game board. All that is left is for the roulette to decide who wins and who loses. Until the roulette shows its results, there is no need for me and Kinzo to meet again.
The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned.
Or perhaps that is why he has this ward here in the first place. Huh. Yes, perhaps even that is honorable in its own way. By now, everything is sitting on top of Kinzo's game board. I like it, Kinzo. Allow me to enjoy my game with you. Allow me to enjoy the failure of the final gamble. Of the old magician that fell in love with me and threw away his entire life.
Here lies Kinzo, he never scored.
Here lies Kinzo, died almost a virgin.
Almost a virgin.
Took longer
No.
than I
He
expected.
had 4 kids.
Yeah, aside from like the at least 4 times he fucked.
Or the turkey baster method.
What
It's
time
1
is it?
a.m. It's 1
1 p.m.
p.m.
And in the real life, it is